everybody's doing well. My name's Cody. I'm a former student of ETSU's Bluegrass and Old Time Country Music program. By the end of this lesson, you're going to take a simple melody to a well-known classic tune, Oh Susanna, and we're going to add some very simple, beginner-friendly bluegrass elements to it. But before we get into the melody, let's talk about the key or the position that we're going to be using in this song. Right here above the notation are the chords that we're going to be switching over in this arrangement. But what do I mean when I talk about a key? Well, a key in music, to put it simply, is just chords and notes that sound good together. To visualize the key of C here today, I like to think of the three main chords, which we'll use here, as being like the three primary colors on a color wheel. In this case, we're using C as our main home chord, as well as an F and a G chord. That being said, if we were playing over this simple melody, it would sound like this. Oh, Susanna, now don't you cry for me, for I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. Let's get into the melody. I'm starting out with that F chord already fingered, okay? That way I've already got the notes that I'm picking through, okay? So I'm going down, up, all the way through. So here it is very slowly. I'm starting on that F chord and ending here on my C chord. A couple of very important things to point out here. Number one is that my home bases are right here, kind of taking shape over these chord shapes, okay? My root notes in this C chord, or in this key, the two C notes I'm going to be using are right there, 3rd fret on your A string, and your 1st fret on your B string, okay? And that's an important note, especially when you're learning how to play out of the C position, because you're kind of wanting to always have your finger right there. A lot of these chord shapes, the C and the F, and then our G, that's our safe note, all right? Because we're going to resolve a lot of what we're doing here on that note, all right? Next thing I want you to look at as you're practicing this bit is this alternate picking pattern. You're going to hear this a lot in bluegrass music. Here is what you need to understand. Alternate picking is changing between a down pick stroke and an up pick stroke, okay? Now the reason we do this is that in bluegrass music, this is a very note-filled, fast style of music, all right? So put this into your memory bank. When we are trying to speed up and play these notes and phrases and breaks really fast, what you can't do, because it takes too much time, is go down and then pull your pick back up and go down again. That just wastes time. This is an example we're just using on one string here. And so in order to play faster, you have to go down, and then it's kind of like economy of motion. You gotta get that note on the upstroke there. Otherwise, you're going to lose time more easily, or rather it's gonna be more difficult to stay in time, okay? So that's why I have those pick strokes there. But now let's look at the next arrangement, and I'll show you an example of where I'm going to break the very rule that I just showed you and why. By the way, folks, if you enjoy this style of teaching, if you're getting great value out of what you're learning here, do consider joining my beginner-friendly bluegrass guitar course, Flatpick Foundations. I'm going to go into a lot more detail. You're going to have structured curriculum that's helping students all over the world find an easy approach to learn this style of guitar. So if you're sitting there and you're brand new to guitar, or if you've been playing for 5, 10, 15 years and you'd like to learn how to play like Billy Strings or Molly Tuttle or Brian Sutton, but you find the content online too overwhelming, too fast-paced, do check it out. There's tons of folks in there getting great value, and there's nothing cooler than landing that first G run. So for the second arrangement, I'm only changing 3 measures on your tab. I've also added 1 measure there at the end just so we can resolve this last lick appropriately, but Staying true to the melody is very important in bluegrass music. But the only thing I've done here is change the first and the second measure and that last measure, okay? So on the first example, we have that F chord shape and we went. But in the second example, I'm just picking through the chord to fill up space, and I find it easier in this context to go down, down, up, up. All right, and that covers the Oh Susanna. Okay, and then that second measure, where we were just hitting that, that single note twice and going, now we're gonna hammer on with our middle finger, all right? So nice and slowly, just like that. I'm going down then up. All right, nice and slow one more time. Okay, and then that is gonna lead us into the exact same melody with the exact same pick direction, all right? We're just starting it off a little bit more powerfully, but we're still staying true to that melody, all right? But then we're just ending the whole thing with that classic bluegrass C run at the end. All right? Now, if this were in, let's say, the G position or the key of G, it'd sound like this, all right? But because we're resolving on that C chord, I'm gonna circle that run there for you. You can also download a free mini course. It's got all the basic runs in there down below. All right. Okay, so by changing 3 measures in this short, simple bluegrass guitar break, we really add some approachable bluegrass elements to it. Again, if you just get that melody down and you're in a bluegrass jam, that's gonna be 1000% completely fine. But if you want to start adding some of this bluegrass flair, bluegrass real estate, as I mentioned inside of the paid course Flatpick Foundations, then you start to unlock how this really sounds intricate. And what I think is fun about learning these bits is A, you can learn a bit and not get overwhelmed, but B, once you start putting the pieces together, that's when you can play like some of the folks you see online and then speed it up over time. That's how I learn. That's the way that I teach it inside of the paid course, folks. Let me know if you liked this lesson or not and what you'd like to see out of the channel. I do gear reviews. I also do a lot of lessons like you see here. And I try to give back to my community, my Appalachian roots the best I can. I work with great organizations like Restring Appalachia who are helping folks be reconnected with their instruments after the natural disasters like Hurricane Helene last year. And that way, all my efforts are helping the music at large and also help out an organization called the Junior Appalachian Musicians, where I believe that we can learn here on the internet, but also the youth of America really needs that in-person instruction, that education where they're meeting with a teacher or whoever it might be and learning that way. I really think that's important, especially as we all come more addicted to our devices. So folks, again, I hope you like this lesson. Drop me a line down below. Make sure you sign up for my email subscriber list. I send out updates all the time, and I love seeing you here. I appreciate all the help and all the support. You guys mean a lot to me. And make sure you like and subscribe, share, comment, because the more that I get from that on this channel, the more I can sit here and teach you guys lessons from day to day, because it's that spreading of the content, folks signing up to my paid membership that really makes all of this possible there. So thank you guys again. We'll see you on the next video, and goodbye.